Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Wizards Outlook. Joined as always, we got Cardinal Dudley Jr., Raymond Lyons, Wilson Tarpe Jr., and the Wizards. They snapped the Jazz 24-game home win streak with a 125-121 victory. The Wizards had them by double digits late. The Jazz made a run. Washington were poised enough to close things out. Cardell, we'll start with you. Just your initial thoughts on the win, and we go to Ray. See what you guys think of their win tonight.
It was honestly a good win. You beat one of the better teams in the league, who absolutely came out and punched you in the mouth. And too many times this season, we would just see the Wizards just fold after that. Especially with Donovan Mitchell, what he did in the first quarter. I think he had about 17 points. He was going to work on everybody. Utah as a team shot 70% from the field in that quarter. But the Wizards responded in the second quarter, led by Russell Westbrook. Who I think had his best all-around game. This is what we've been saying. He had his typical triple-double, 25, 14 to 14, or 8 to 15 shooting, but he only had 3 turnovers, man. He didn't make many mistakes. On top of that, he was deadly efficient. You see what I'm saying? So he got everybody else going, and then Bill came in. I know he had restricted minutes or whatnot, but I don't know if Scott Brooks followed the game plan. I think he went a little bit over to win the game, but Bill was Bill. He's the leading scorer in the league for a reason. 34 points, 5 assists, so 14 to 31 shooting. 2 or 5 from deep. That's around 50% from the field, 40% from deep. That you can't get no better than that. I know he missed a couple bunnies, late in the game, but he came back, redeemed himself, and knocked down the next 2. So. It happens, man. Him and Donovan Mitchell were going at it as you expect from 2 All-Stars, man. It is what it is. But I think the backcourt, Russell Westbrook controlling the pace, Bill doing what he does, and the Wizards bench is what won the game. Gafford, man, he's been a blessing. He's been a huge pickup. Something that I'm pretty sure when the transaction happened, for NBA observers and stuff that's not covering the Wizards, they probably just looked at it as like, who cares? But we knew what his talent brought because he killed the Wizards early in the season with the Bulls. So, and he's exactly what they needed. And ever since he's came, every game he's played, he's made an impact. You know what I mean? And Lopez, man, that little junior sky hook he be doing, man, the non-vertical sky hook. He killing guys with that. He going to work in the block, man. And he's deadly efficient. I think they said over the last 7 games, he's shooting 70% from the field, which is insane. Today he shot 100% from the field. I mean, you can't ask for more. Bertans came back 10 points, 3 of 7 from deep. Efficient from 3-point range. That's his job, man. Then Ish Smith and Neto came in and did what they did. Their bench is what was the difference in the game to me. And then I know they didn't have Clarkson, but still, it's been plenty of games where the Wizards didn't have their full team and nobody, made excuses for them. So we're not gonna make excuses for the Jazz. Plus, they're at home. I just feel like Russell Westbrook, his play today, he literally controlled the game, and that enabled the Wizards not only to get the lead back but hold on to win the game. And you couldn't ask for a better performance from him. It allowed everybody else to play their roles and not have to worry about anything else but doing their roles to their maximum ability. And that's all you can ask for from a point guard.
Right.
Yeah, man, definitely a good team win. And this is a game where the Wizards did a lot of little things to pull out a victory, and they needed every inch of what they got. Like Adele said, Utah got off to a very fast start, and they had a big fourth quarter as well. But Wizards played just enough defense in those middle quarters to kind of keep the game in control. So yeah, kudos to them. And it was just a full team effort from top to bottom. Everybody did their job. Can't talk enough about how Daniel Gafford has just been a huge difference for them when he's been able to play. He came in those first 2 games, he was on fire, and we all saw the what he could bring to the team, and it sucked that he went down. But he's once he's returned from injury, he's gotten right back to what he was doing before. So that just adds another dimension to the team. Like, they didn't have a big they could run pick and rolls with before. And that just opens up so much because it makes the defense have to make a decision. And, it allows, Russell to kind of ease into it instead of having to force things. And then he just has an outlet where you can just toss it up to Gafford if if the defense doesn't play it the right way. And we saw it tonight. It's a lot of times this is a game that they lose. They have a double-digit lead, but then Utah, which is one of the teams at the top of the league, they walk them down, and the Wizards able to hold them off. And it's like this. It's the stuff we say all the time. If they can just give this type of effort consistently, we know that the shooting isn't always going to be this hot. But they had 7 turnovers as a team. They played defense for a good portion of the game. They rebounded, they fought. They took care of basketball. That's just, if you check off a lot of those boxes every night, then you're gonna come away with your fair share of wins. And if you don't, you're gonna come away with your fair share of losses. And that's unfortunately that's what we've seen from them majority of the time this season. But yeah, man, Westbrook, 25, 14, and 14, 3 turnovers. Bill did what he does. They were able to, they hung with the Utah Jazz and they came out on top. Like they outgunned them. And man, it just shows the potential of what they can do, if they just if they just stick to the little stuff every night.
Yeah, there's not too much left. I think you guys got most of it. But I think a couple games ago, we're talking about the Wizards not having a premier big man is by committee for them, right? So by committee tonight, I don't think they out rebounded Gobert in terms of Gafford and Lopez, but together they outscored him 25-12. He didn't have any blocks tonight either. Lopez in that hook, which is still, it's not that as funny. It's just because I got tweeted throughout the game, which is inevitable. He goes to the hook, and we all know the result. Like, the defender knows it. We know the result. He's working out down there. They're giving teams, you got to deal with both of the bigs in different fashions. Gafford, as soon as he sets the screen, you leave him. He's up there somewhere. You see Russ getting more comfortable with them off the pick and roll too, and just his energy we've been talking about. But yeah, it was fun to watch them not turn the ball over. Like, there's a reason we've been complaining and talking about this all year. You don't win a game like this if you turn the ball over, 3 more times or whatever their normal average for the season is. This may not end up. This may not be what it was. You won by 4. You only had 7 turnovers. Utah turned it over 14. There was one of those nights where they have 16 or 17 turnovers, 12 by the backcourt. It's a totally different story. And you, for the most part, like you said, Cardell, I think was perfect. It's probably the best game Russ played this season. Like totally factoring in the efficiency, because that's the other thing too. I can't really think of too many moments where it's like, oh, the ball didn't get to where it needed to be, or damn, that was an ill-advised shot. It was a really good game from him, from start to finish, and give him their credit. It was a big win.
And then you also got to factor in who he's going against. He's going against Donovan Mitchell, who had point duties because Conley was out. So, it wasn't a walk in the park. And even Ingles, that's a big, crafty, shooting guard, man. You know what I mean? So, like I said, it was a flawless floor game, man. He kept the Wizards in it with his playmaking when Utah was on fire, and it continued in the second quarter. Like, that's what happens when you're not giving the other team the ball, giving them chances to get extra possessions to score on you, and you're giving the ball to the right people in spots where they can be most effective. And because think about it, Len only had 3 points. Denny didn't score. Rui had another bad game, 4 points. So they got 7 points from their starting front court. And they beat the Utah Jazz in their building by 4 points. Russ had to have a masterful game to counteract that. You see what I'm saying? So, and he had 3 turnovers. I mean, the Wizards as a whole, they had 7?
Mm-hmm.
So you didn't get a chance. You didn't help the Jazz beat you. And that's been one of the Wizards' Achilles heel all seasons. They help teams beat them. Like, nah, man, if they're gonna beat you, let them work for it. Don't help them. You see what I'm saying? And that was the difference. So, and on top of Rush just doing what he does, killing them in all around aspect. So, I mean, kudos for them. This should be they're 3 games out of the 10 spot for the playing game. So this should be a win where they look back and be like, you know what, we can play with the best. And they've been doing that, but be consistent. You know what I'm saying? So, like you said, man, Robert Lopez, he been killing. Like, you got to guard him now. You know, I know, look. And this is what we've been, old school guys. If you played against old school guys from back in the day, they don't play too many games when they playing against you. They go to their bread and butter and they just wear you out with that, whatever shot that is. It could be a pull up, it could be a crossover pull up, or they go to the block hooks. And you like, I can't believe this dude giving me 30 off of just one shot. Like, you see, what, you can't stop it. Rudy Gobert the best defensive big man in the league, could not get to Lopez hook, and Lopez has a 1-inch vertical. That's my whole point. So, stick to what's working for you and keep it like that, man. Because he's automatic off the bench, and he's providing a scoring punch off the bench that I'm pretty sure up to now teams were sleeping on. But you got to play. You got a game plan for that, man. You got to not do something. You see what I'm saying? And it's gonna be bad when. Don't be shocked if you see a double coming to him. If you see a double, it's gonna be hilarious, but still, I mean, he's wearing them out. He's too efficient. You got to worry about that. So, all in all, man, good win, man. But the name of the game for the Wizards, we've seen them beat and play with the best in the league. They gotta be consistent, man. They only 3 games out. I don't know. They probably got them around. Is it just their 55th? No, 53rd game. So they got about 20 games left. They can't afford too many more L's, man. They're gonna make a push and try to get to the, 10th seed, because obviously right now, let me see who's ahead of them. Let me see standings. New York Knicks 8th, the Pacers 9th, Bulls 10th, and the Toronto Raptors up on them on about half game. It's doable, man. It's doable. So I think they beating the Bulls. I got to think about the Raptors. I think the Raptors smack them around a little bit, and I think they beat the Pacers. So it's doable. They just got to be consistent. It's on them.
Like you said, that's the key word there, is just consistent. We know you could play up. The thing is, how do you respond come Wednesday? Do you turn in a clunker against the Kings? You know what I'm saying? Like that's literally what Cardell was making a point to. Ray's mentioned as well. Tweet from Cats. Just want to take these numbers. Gafford's 4 games as a Wizard, so you guys understand his impact in limited minutes. 13 points, 5 rebounds, 3 blocks, 14 minutes. That was his debut. 11.6 rebounds, 2 blocks, 15 minutes. 9 points, 4 rebounds, 1 block, 17 minutes. Tonight, 15 points, 4 rebounds, 18 minutes.
Consistent.
Just want to bring it up because it's a small sample size, but it's that word we were literally just talking about. He's provided them a consistent option. Once he comes in the game, you know what you're getting from him. Just a matter of how much, but you know what he's getting. The team knows what they're getting. Did you guys have anything else to add specifically about tonight, or you want to get to these comments?
Last thing, I would like to know the wins of him when he played since he's been here, the record, because they felt it when he was out, but when he's been, they've been a lot more competitive. Like he's impacting the game in a lot of ways. So I would like to see that win-loss record when he plays. I'm talking about Gafford.
Huh. That would be fun to see. All right. I'm going to put the first comment up and let y'all get at that. And I might find that Gafford thing, actually, because that's interesting. From Ali Dia. We couldn't make good /open shots while they made theirs, plus some tough ones on top. The TOs, turnovers didn't help. The end. They were just a better team. How much of the with salary were we missing at night? I swear it feels like Bertans has a part-time job. This dude is out every other game. Russ's shot was off tonight, but I thought he played a really good game. Otherwise, every shot he took was the right decision. Same with his passing and general control of the game. He had a couple sloppy turnovers, which is acceptable considering the circumstances. His body language is still concerning to me, though. If we had some more shot making, we could have been competitive till the end. All right, you can start with this one, sir.
The thing that's jumping out to me is he had a couple sloppy turnovers, which is acceptable considering the circumstances. No, it's not. And I'm sure if you talk to Russell Westbrook, he would say that it's not as well. But I mean, other than that, you can't talk about who's not there. You know, it's you play with what you have available. Like it's no excuses from that aspect. So you can't go into a game shorthanded and worry about what players you don't have at your disposal. You gotta rock with the guys that are available and try your best to win the game, which means if you don't have your full complement of players, your margin of error is that much smaller. So that is why the turnovers are that much more harmful in a situation like that. But yeah, man, it's nothing different than what we've been saying. Down the stretch, we've seen them a lot of times just kind of give away games, and then like Cardell was talking about earlier, they've kind of helped teams beat them, with whether it be poor shot selection, bad turnovers, not competing defensively. So yeah, this is, for the most part, it's a pretty good synopsis of what's happened to them oftentimes.
Go ahead, Cardell.
One, no turnovers are acceptable. I mean, you may not trip out over a couple, but I don't know any coach that's cool with any turnovers, especially if they're sloppy. Two, body language. I mean, honestly, I'm not sure we should look. Looking at, he's human. He's gonna get frustrated a couple times when teammates are consistently messing up, even when he gets mad at himself when he's consistently messing up. I see him throw his hand up in like my fault, shaking his head like that. Like you see him, y'all focusing on just trivial stuff, man. You got to focus on what matters most. The game against Phoenix, the reason why they lost was because they couldn't stop those dudes. I mean, the game got blown open in the third quarter. I mean, Devin Booker looked like he was in the gym by himself. You see what I'm saying? Like other guys didn't really even have to do much. That's just defense. That's just stopping. That too often times this season we've seen the Wizards have major defensive breakdowns. Then once they get on their heels, that's when the sloppy play comes. And against a team like the Suns, who I don't know if people have been paying attention, they're eyeing a championship run. They're not doing this for their health, just to get pats on the back. They really believe they can win the championship. That's how they playing it. They're gonna kill you. They're gonna get you up out of there. So you can't allow a team like that to hang around, man. What I'm saying? It wasn't about shot making, because at the end of the day, the Wizards had 106 with the turnovers and the sloppy play and poor shooting that they had. They're one of the better offensive teams in the league. The defense, on the other hand, has been up and down, and that's why they lost that game.
All right, on to the second comment. This is from M. Thank you for the name. So simple. I appreciate it. This game kind of showed why we should involve Rui on offense. I guess he means should involve Rui more on offense. It's getting him good looks from mid-range early and not post-ups. He was getting stripped left and right tonight, and even though some of that has to do with our horrendous spacing, it's also that Rui doesn't have an arsenal of post moves and counters, nor a tight handle. But if he's able to show his defender the mid-range first and open his game with drives, etc., also in games that he does well and start with early mid-range jumpers too, like the Warriors or Pacers game. Before I give this to y'all, I was just going to simply say the other team gets paid to stop people. Some teams take it seriously. Some teams don't. But, you guys thought on this one.
Yeah, stop. Sometimes you just got to shake the opponent's hand. They get you sometimes. You got to understand you playing against other NBA players. The Phoenix Suns just thoroughly outplayed the Wizards that night. It happens. Like Rui didn't have the best game. The main thing about Rui is don't settle, be aggressive. That's what they keep saying. That's what Russ keeps saying, especially post game. Brad Beal, Scott Brooks, you got to be aggressive even when you're not scoring the ball. Still take your shots, because that helps the Washington Wizards stay within a normal flow, which will help other guys do what they need to do. But when you start hesitating to shoot and you're not taking the shots that you normally take, it's clear that your confidence is kind of shook, which helps the opponent adjust, and it makes it harder on the other guys to do what they need to do. You see what I'm saying? And that's something he has to learn. It seems like rookie. I mean, it seems like he's been in the league for a while because how he carry himself, but he's only in the second year. He's still learning. So I understand you may feel like he don't have a wide range of skills on the block or mid range or whatever. I feel like he does. He just need to be aggressive because he's shown what he's capable of. He can score at all three levels. And tight handle, I don't know what you mean by tight handle. A lot of people these days feel like if you're not dribbling like Kyrie, you don't have a tight handle. A tight handle is you not getting ripping, you get to your spots to make the play. So that's all he needed. That's all he need. You don't need to do all the tricks and stuff. Get to your spots, make the shot, or make the play, and just be effective that way. But that's the thing about Rui, man. Just staying confident, staying aggressive. Everything else will fall in place.
Right.
Yeah, he's just gotta get completely comfortable with his role, man. Like he hasn't really been consistent at being, that third option. So it really wouldn't make sense at this point to put even more on his shoulders. He's gotta he's gotta do the job he's been assigned first. And he has shown flashes where where he's shown what he's able to do offensively. But yeah, sometimes he just if he doesn't get out the gates fast, then more often than not it's going to be it's going to be a shaky game for him on that end. So we just gotta be patient and allow him to develop, man. Like Cardell said, it's only his second year, and this hasn't been a normal year by any means. So it's going to take some time, and yeah, man. And once he gets there, then by all means, like kind of let him go a little bit. But right now, he just got to lock down what he's assigned to do at this point.
And there's a reason, it's old. People say it, and it's old. But sometimes some folks much more intelligent than myself usually give players 3 to 4 years before you try to make these wild assumptions and assertions and determining who they are and everything else. Give them a chance to, I don't know, grow before we go crazy. Like, I'm pretty sure this is not the final form of whatever this kid's going to be in year 2. And the second year being a pandemic year, and that he didn't get through the entire first year. Like, give it time. Y'all just have to relax. Like, y'all the same type of folks that if we check back in a couple of years are going to love everything about the kid. Yet you hated him the day that he came in. I'm not saying you personally, but just saying, like, relax. Like, nobody was going crazy when Giannis was drafted. 3 years later, a lot of people, you're looking around like, what did I do? What were we thinking or whatnot? Like, give people time. Some of y'all were writing off DeAndre Ayton, like, literally, I don't know, 6 months past him being an NBA rookie. He looked pretty good the other night. You guys got to see him up close. Give him some time. Just give people time, man. He's heading in the right direction. Give him time. I don't know. I keep trying to, like, it's fine. Y'all have anything else tonight? Not gonna keep me.
Nah.
Y'all have a great evening. Thank you again for your comments. We look forward to the next ones. We will see you again for Wizards Outlook Wednesday evening when they take on the Kings. I'll see you tomorrow night for the Focus TV at our normal 8 p.m. slot. Got a lot to talk about there. But y'all have a great one for Cardell, Ray, and myself. It's been Wizards Outlook, and again, the Wizards beating the Utah Jazz. They swept the season series with the 125-121 win tonight.